Okay, so we'll go to the next topic. Identity property. Identity property right on the side heading. Okay, write down the abbreviation, then I'll explain. Identity property will generate the automatic numbers the automatic sequence numbers you can write. Generate the automatic sequence numbers in a table. Identity property will generate the automatic sequence numbers in a table. Let me just show you. Just a second, I'll just download some tables from your assignments. Just a second. Okay. I'll take employee table. So okay. So create table name and all the column names, right? So here what is meant by identity property means generally for any employee or student we used to give the identity, right? So for students we can consider as a roll number. For employee it will be employee ID. For voter it will be voter ID, correct? So in the same way, generally we used to enter the employee IDs, right? Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 like that. Okay, now I don't want to enter any numbers, so the system needs to generate the automatic numbers. Okay, the system needs to the SQL server needs to generate the automatic numbers. In such case this identity property will help us actually. Okay, so now if you see the employee ID integer, right? So if I want to make automatic number, so we'll just need to put identity, means after the data type we just need to add identity of identity of 1 comma 1. So what is this 1 comma 1 means? This first one is nothing but, let me just keep it in the below and we'll write it. So first one is nothing but it's a seed value. Okay, it's a seed value or starting position or base value. Anything we can connect actually. Okay, and when it comes to the second one is nothing but increment value. Don't write. Okay, I'll give you time to write. Just listen. Second one is nothing but increment value, guys. Okay, and this seed value can be changed. Increment value be fixed. Okay, so see, this one comma one will not be fixed always. Okay, so it can be your wish. I mean, if you want to put 10 comma 1 0 comma 1, okay, and anything you can keep actually. Okay, and it won't allow any decimal decimal points. In case of identity, it will allow only integers actually. Okay, and so generally, usually we will start the numbers with 1 2 3 4 5, right? Not with 0. Nobody will keep for any row as 0, right? Usually we'll keep it as 1 2 3 4 5. So that's why I had kept like 1, and the increment value will be 1. So 1 2 3 4 5 like that. Okay, so usually in real time also we'll keep 1 comma 1 only, guys, but this is not fixed. If you want to keep 1000 comma 1, 10,000 comma 1, 100 comma 1, yes, it is your wish. Okay, or 1 comma 10, 1 comma 20, anything is fine, guys. Okay, so what exactly it will do when you give 1 comma 1 na? So when you insert some rows, you don't need to provide any value for employee ID. What it will do, for first row it will give 1. For the second row, what it will do is this seed plus increment value 1 plus 1, it will become as 2. For the second row, it will give us 2. Okay, and now see, this is the seed value 1, right? For the second row, the seed value becomes as 2, guys. It will keep on increment, right? So that's what I said, this seed value will can be changed. It will keep on change actually. So now 2 plus again the increment value will be always fixed. As I said, when you give something now as increment value, that cannot be changed actually. That will be always fixed. So 2 plus 1, again it will become 3. And now the current seed value is 3. 3 plus 1 4. So likewise for every row it will increment 1 value, and it will automatically generate the numbers. So that is what the exact meaning of identity. And one more thing, this identity property we can define either an integers or for all type of integer data types like small int, tiny int, and big int. Okay, but not for varchars or floats or date data type. Okay, because this will generate the numbers, not dates, not var characters, not decimal points or in bits and all. It will generate only numbers. So that's why the only preferable case is on top of integers only, all type of integers. Okay, in real time every table will be having one identity test, that's for sure. Okay, every table will have identity property, so which will automatically generate a number actually. So 1 comma 1 is usually people will prefer, that is the best practice, but it's not fixed. So if you want to put any other values, so you can keep it actually. Okay, so now if I want to insert some data into it, let me take only few columns. Okay, just for timing. So now I do have totally 4 columns right here. So in case of identity, so as I said, this will automatically generate the numbers, so we don't want to insert any values into it, right? So if there are in an identity table, okay, in an identity table, if we have 10 columns, or we can say n columns, then we need to insert n minus values, guys. Why? Because one identity will be applicable for a table. Only one identity we can provide actually. See, for a person, usually only one identification like Aadhaar card and all, right? In employee, case employee ID, students case to roll number, okay, voter ID case voter ID, patient case patient ID. Only one identification for every person, right? So that's why Microsoft has fixed only one identity for a table, guys. Even if you put one more identity, right, it will throw us an error actually. Okay, we cannot create two identities for a table. Okay, so in an identity table, if you want to, if you have n number of columns, n number of means there are 4 columns in it, and out of which one column is identity, right? So in such a case, it will, we can able to insert n minus 1 values. Okay, so meaning insert into table name values. Okay, don't provide any values for employee ID. Okay, don't provide any values for employee, just provide for this one. Okay, comma, so employee ID, then sorry, employee name and employee address will be, let's say, Bangalore, and employee salary will be, let's say, 90,000. Okay, now if you see, I'm not providing any value for employee ID, guys. And also see, in default case, what we did, if there are two default constraints in a table, so what we did,
Few column names.
yeah, we provided a column names, right? But in this case, it is not required, guys. In case of identity, you no need to mention the column list here. Directly you can enter the values except the identity column. Got it? Yeah, I'll clear your doubts on top of intent in it. Okay, so in case of default constraints, so if there are n number of columns, and there are 3 4 default constraints are there, then we need to pass n minus number of constraints, default constraints. So, and also whenever we are inserting the data, in case of default constraint, we are mentioning the column list, guys. But in this case, in the identity case, it's not mandatory to keep the column names. Okay, so just provide the values for the other columns except this identity. The SQL Server will automatically insert the value into it. Okay, so if you see, okay, I think the table not yet created. Okay, the table is created now. Now you see one row is affected, and if I go and keep one more row, let's say so more Bangalore, okay, and Nagaraj, I go 50,000, and I'm executing. Totally 3 insert statements I have executed now. So let's do select star from my table name. Can you see this? So I did not enter any values for employee, right? So it's automatically taken, guys. Okay. So first, it will take the seed value that will gonna insert for the first row, and for the second rows and all, the seed value plus increment. Okay, the seed value plus increment, so becomes 2. Now the current seed value here is 2, guys. It's not 1. So whichever is the latest seed value is there, So that value it will take, and for that value increment will gonna add. Okay, so 2 plus 1 becomes as 3. 3 will gonna insert for the next one. So likewise it will keep on go. Okay, now if I want to see, like in a table, in an identity table specifically, okay, in an identity table specifically, if you want to see what is the latest seed value, what is the latest seed value means, we have something called global variables in SQL Server. Using that we can able to easily find it out. Okay, so meaning select, so global variables will be generally defined with two at the rates. Okay, so at the rate identity. So when you execute this, no, using this variable we can find out the current seed value. If we execute, see, this is the current seed value, no, in the table, correct?
Yes,
So
sir.
current,
So it's for example, we have multiple tables, means how it is going to segregate.
it will give us the latest table
Okay.
always. Okay, yeah, and there is a one more option also, scope underscore identity something. Okay, scope underscore, yeah, this one, scope underscore identity, and you just need to provide open and close bracket, guys. Okay, this is one of the function. See, this is a global variable. When you put at the rate before the identity, that is global variable, and this is a function actually when you're not keeping any at the rates. And this will also give us the current seed value. See, 3. But there is a small difference, guys, between these two. But it requires again one more concept, that is triggers needs to be completed, so that I can explain to you what is the exact difference. Okay, usually see it, this is a within a session, right? Within a session both are same actually. Okay, within the session both are same, but in triggers case, so it will be giving a different values. Okay, I'll show you that. This is very very important interview question, guys. Okay, so how to find out the current seed value in a table means either using at the rate of identity or scope identity functions. Okay, see, on top of only identity property you will get almost like 10 questions actually, more than 10 I can say. Okay, so okay, does the identity allow null values? So let me just show you. If I go and refresh this, my table name is employee, right? Columns. So if you see, for the employee ID, when I'm keeping identity of 1 comma 1, so defaultly what it has been taken, so it's making it as a not null. Okay, like your primary key, so that it won't allow null values. Okay, when we have a sequence number, at that time only when we have to use this. We know that actually for every table we have to provide the numbers. That's for sure. The sequence numbers. Why? Because see, if we store in a sequential way, right, in the tables, so obviously in the sequential way only it will be storing in the data pages. So whenever you request, right, select star from table name where 1 to 100 or 2 to 100, for SQL Server it is very easy to fetch. Okay, so without this sequence numbers, right, if you are giving any random numbers, so SQL Server has to spend some time to retrieve the data, which will always take some time. Okay, so that's why every table in a real time will have the identity sequence numbers. Okay, yeah, okay, so write down till now, so I'll move further.
Hi, Vinod.
Yes.
So we gave that identity as 1 comma 1.
Mm.
So if we give it from 2 comma 1, it will start from 2, right?
Yes.
And what if we give 1 comma 2? Is it like 135?
Yes, correct. If you give 1 comma 2, for the first value it will take the seed value. For the second value 1 plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay, because here the increment value is 2, right?
Yes.
So 1 comma 2. So the next value will be 3. Then current seed value is 3. 3 plus 2, 5.
Yeah, okay.
See, but the thing is, for rows, if you give something like this, now 1, 3, 5. So there are missing rows now in between,
Yeah.
2, 4.
No, for just for understanding purpose, I asked.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So whatever you want, you can give it over here. There is no problem in that. Okay.
Okay.
In place of 1 comma 1, you can give anything, but
So
preferable case will be always 1 comma 1.
basically, it will take in arithmetic progression way.
Yes.
Okay.
So whether it will allows what is that? 1 comma 0, right? Okay, I'll show you. I'm going to drop this table and let me put 1 comma 0 and we'll see what will happen. Identity column AID contains invalid increment. Okay, so definitely this increment should be a valid one. Okay, so you cannot increment with the 0, no? Yeah. Okay, write down. Any questions, anyone?
Sir, can we use primary key and identity property both at a time?
Yes, we can keep it. So we can keep primary key identity on one column. So that's how it will be in the real time actually. So primary key and identity will be both will be on the same column. Maybe I can show you an example in Adventure Works table so that you will have an idea. Can you see this? On product ID column, we have a PK. So primary key, and also this table has a identity property as well. I can show you that. So when we have an identity in a table, we cannot see that guy. Okay, actually, I mean, show you how to see that. This is the one way of see the identity property in a table. Can you see this? Identity property is there. Okay. Also primary key also defined here. Okay. Primary key also defined here. So both can be in single column. And the another way of seeing your primary key will be just do select the table name, do alt F1. Okay, the table has been dropped.
Vinod, I have a question.
1 second, 1 second. So alt F1 if you do know, can you see these guys? So identity seed 1 and increment 1. So usually when we have an identity in a table, right? So it will be showing like this. Okay, seed 1, increment 1. If there is no identity in a table, so then it will be showing as null and null. So which means that there is no identity property. Maybe I can show you an example. I'll just drop, sorry, this is the one of the tables which we created yesterday, and there is no identity property in it. If we do this one, right, alt F1 for this table, can you see this? Seed is null, increment null, so everything is null actually. So which means that what? So there is no identity. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
So for example, if you want to give in even numbers like 10, 20, 30, 40 like that.
Then in that case, you can go with this. So if you want 10, 20, right? 10 is the starting value and the increment value also 10 you need to keep. Okay. So, okay, I think
So if you want to start from the 1, 10, 20 like that.
110, then the starting value will be 1, increment will be 10.
Not 9, 1 plus 9 that is equal to 10.
Oh, sorry. Okay. It will be 9. 1 second. Table. Okay, let's try this. 1 comma 10.
No, that's you are given 1 plus 1 and 1.
Still it's in 1 comma 1.
You have 1 comma 10 only, 1, 11, 12. But if you need 9, you can do. Okay. If for the first row, it won't include the increment value. Okay. For the second row onwards, it will include the increment value. And someone has kept like increment as negative. I'll show you that as well. 10 comma minus 1. Now let's keep that 10 comma minus 1. ఇక్కడ అత ఇక్కడ sorry. Okay, so the table has been created and let's go and insert some data into it. Okay, the data also inserted, and if you see this, you'll be having like 1098. Okay, so even the negative things also, I mean, it is decreasing the values as well, but nobody will prefer these things, guys. Okay, understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nobody will prefer negative values, nobody will prefer decreasing numbers. Okay, and even the zigzag numbers also nobody will prefer. Always it should be a sequence number. Okay, understand? Yeah, any other questions? Hello,
We are good.
any other questions? Can identity property allow duplicates? Yeah, Noor, like when you insert some data, right, it won't actually allow, I mean, it will always insert the sequence numbers, right? So it will keep on grow. Okay, but the answer for your question is yes. If you manually insert, we can manually insert some data into identity column. In such a case, duplicate will allow actually. To avoid that, we can simply go with the primary key. That's it. So simple answer for your question is it will allow the duplicates in identity column when we enter manual value. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, if no, so you can just, what you can do, I think this abbreviation you have written now, everyone. Hello,
Sir.
abbreviation is done, right? Okay,
Yes,
now
sir.
you can write, create
Yes,
this
sir.
table, and below that you can write down identity of 1 comma 1 and write down what exactly this first one and second one. Yes, and in an identity table, if we have n columns, it is, then we need to insert n minus 1 values. So write down all these things, guys. Okay, till the end, and even you have to draw the table and write down the data as. Okay, so from top to bottom you have to write down.
Sir. Sir.
I think he's not in front of the system. When he's back, you can raise a question.
Sorry. What is the question?
Scope identity is a function or
Yeah, scope identity is a function, and at the rate of identity is a global variable actually, and both are system defined functions actually.
Both does the same thing.
Yes, in this case both does the same things. Both will give us the current seed value only in one case it will differ. I'll show you that case later.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, you mentioned that you could use the duplicate key in identity. I mean, duplicate data. So how it will actually employee
Yeah,
ID is like?
I'll show you that. When we enter a duplicate, what exactly will happen? I'll show you that. But usually, in real time, right, we'll keep a primary key here. Okay. So that duplicate won't allow.
Okay. Actually, my question over here is, so when we enter identity 1+1, always employee ID will be changed, right? We can't enter the data, right?
No,
I mean,
there
we
is
can't
a
enter the duplicate
possibility
data.
of in a identity, right?
Okay.
There is a possibility of enter a
Oh.
manual value. Okay. That option is there. I'll show you that. Okay.
Okay.
But how it will take the duplicates, like we have mentioned identity as 1.
And one.
So it will be continuous 1, 3, 5 or 1, 2, 3 depending on the increment value, right?
Yes.
But
Yeah,
in
I'll show you that. I'll show you that. When you enter a manual value, what is the functionality of identity? I'll show you. Okay. Let me know once it is finished. Done? Finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So first, we'll see about the delete and truncate statements. Okay. Then after we'll go for manual insert value. Okay. So for an example, now we have how many rows in the table? So yeah, we have totally 3 rows, right? So let's drop this. Just enter the sequence numbers and then we'll end. Okay, so we have now the sequence numbers in the table. Okay, so let's see what will happen when you delete something from the table or truncate from the table. So delete from, so table name. So when you do this, what will happen? The entire table will gonna delete, correct?
Only data is going to delete.
Yeah, so the data will gonna remove and the structure remains same. And let me just do that. So 3 rows has been affected, guys. Okay, now I'll show you the table. Okay, nothing is there. But in the data pages, what will happen?
Backend, it is going to stay in the LDP and
Yes, it will be there in the data pages, and also it will overwrite until the new data comes, correct?
Yes.
correct.
So let me reinsert the data again into the table and see what will happen. I inserted, and when you go and check, see the data has been inserted from 4, 5, 6. Why is it so?
It's overridden.
Overrated.
That's
Because
fine. But what about the identity?
earlier it
value
was
is
1,
fixed.
2, 3 has been already used, right?
Okay,
Because
1,
the
2, 3 is
currency
already
value,
complete.
we have already used 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so you mean to say it has been used, so that's why it is going for 4, 5, 6, correct?
Because identity is fixed value.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so fine. Then I'll just truncate the table now.
Uh-huh.
So truncated, and there is no data, guys. Yeah,
Okay.
there is no data. And let me reinsert some. Now it's 1, 2, 3. Why is it not? Why it's not coming from 8, 9, 10?
Deleted, right?
Truncate in the sense, I think
To remove the all that.
Deleted.
So it will
that is
permanently delete, right?
truncate is a
Deleted.
DDL command and delete is a DML command.
But then, so what is the difference?
In truncate, the
Truncate
data
is
will be
going to
No, I'm
remove from
getting lot
LDF
of
as well.
disturbances. Please
Wait,
mute
wait.
everyone. Hello.
Sir, in
Getting
delete
lot of
option,
disturbance. Yeah, tell me.
in delete option, the data will be remain page ID, sir.
Okay.
Truncate, there is minimal data only, sir. The whole data will be deleted.
Okay. Yeah, half of the answer is correct. Next.
Sir, in delete, each row will be locked and deleted, whereas truncate entire table will be locked and delete at a time.
That's the difference between delete and truncate, but will not relate to this question.
Sir, it will delete from the last seed value.
Delete till like it is not going to delete completely, so it is going to store the data in LDF, and once if you retrieve the data, it's going to come back. So the duplicates will not allow. So, but in case of the truncate, I think it's a complete. It is going to remove from the LDF as well, so it's not going to retrieve.
Yeah, correct. So let me just give you the clarification. Why it's taking when you delete something from the table, why it's taking from the last identity insert value, But in case of truncate, why again it is reseeding? It's called reseeding. It is resetting to the original value. Okay. So because, so as I said, when you delete something from the table, so it will go and maintain, in LDF file. Okay. But it also marked it as unavailable, data unavailable, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct. But usually data will be there. For us, it won't show. Correct.
Correct.
So when you reinsert the data, right, the SQL Server knows it. What is the last inserted row? Because already the data is there in the pages, no?
Correct.
Correct. The SQL Server knows it. What is the last inserted row? That is the reason it will, reinsert from. I mean the current seed value from the last identity value, seed value will be there, right? From then and there onwards, it will keep on grow. Okay. But in case of truncate, what will happen? First, it will make it as unavailable, but within a fraction of seconds, what it will do? It will remove from that LDF file as well. Correct.
Correct.
Correct. So now when you go and reinsert, does the SQL Server knows it? What is the last inserted row?
No,
No, sir.
It won't be there, right? That see anyway the data will get permanently removed from the LDF. How can it get back that information? What is the last inserted row? It doesn't know, correct?
Correct.
So that is the reason what truncate will do is whenever you truncate the table, what SQL Server will do is it will again reset to your identity to 1,1, the original seed and current value whatever you provided. Understand?
yes, sir.
So which means that second. So before truncate, what is the seed and increment value, guys? It is 3,1. Am I correct? The seed value, we inserted 3 rows. The current seed value is 3 and the increment value is 1, correct?
Correct.
But after truncate, it becomes 1, which means that, so see, this identity is also a structure of this table, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It's a part of the structure, right? So now the structure has been changed, right?
Correct.
So currently it is 3,1, but it has been again reset to 1,1, which means the structure of this table has been changed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
So that's why they're given this truncate under DDL command.
DDL command.
Okay, even though it is deleting the data, why they had given truncate under DDL commands means this is the reason. In case of identity, it will just reseed or reset the identity value. That's the reason they're giving the truncate under DDL command. Okay.
Yeah.
But in case of delete, will it change any structure?
No, sir.
No, it will only delete the data. Okay. This is the main difference between delete and truncate. This is the first point you need to tell in the interview, guys. Okay.
Okay.
So I told you to give one space, no, to write this point.
Yes.
Remember it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the point actually. Very, very, very important point, guys. Anyone have doubt on this?
No, we are good.
Anyone?
Can you tell it again, sir, the difference?
Yeah, the difference is when you delete something from the table, okay, and when you reinsert, it will insert from the last identity value. Okay, so there is no change in this identity value actually. Okay, because as the deleted data is there in the log file, right? SQL Server continue from that seed value. Okay, last seed value. Whereas in the truncate, right? So it will the data, the temporary data, whatever the truncated data is there, that will permanently get removed from the LDF file. So it cannot identify what is the last seed value. So what SQL Server will do is again it will reset to the original seed and increment value. So which means that there is a change in the structure of the table. So what is meant by DDL? When exactly DDL commands will be used? Whenever there is a defining the structure or changing the structure. Okay, in such a case your DDLs will come, correct? When there is a data changes is required, then DML command, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the main reason truncate comes under DDL and delete comes under DM. Many of the people, even the interviewers, doesn't know this actually. Okay. Yeah. So what you need to do is, can you go to your delete and truncate differences and write down this point, please? Go there. Under delete, you can write down this.
Equals of the seed value.
Yeah, write down in delete. When we delete and reinsert the data, when we delete and reinsert the data in an identity table, when we delete and reinsert the data in an identity table, when we delete and reinsert the data in an identity table, the next seed value will be depending on last inserted seed value. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. The next seed value will be depending on the last seed value, the last inserted seed value. The next seed value will be depending on the last inserted seed value, because the deleted information will be available in logs, because the deleted information will be available in logs, because the deleted information is available in logs, so that SQL Server can identify what is the last inserted row. So that SQL Server can identify what is the last inserted row. What is the last inserted row? Then yeah, Monica, it's not possible to add one more identity. I mean, multiple identities for a table. Okay, only one identity for one person, right? Similar case, one identity for a table. Finished? So that SQL Server can identify what is the last inserted row. Okay. Yes, yeah, in case of truncate, you can write, okay. When we truncate and reinsert the data, when we truncate and reinsert the data in an identity table, in an identity table. When we truncate and reinsert data in an identity table, the seed value will be reset to the original position. The seed value will be reset to the seed value will be reseed, R-E-S-E-E-D. The seed value will be reset to original value. So why I said original value means if we keep 10,1, that's the original value. If we keep 2,1, that's the original value. So whichever while creating you use it, right? So the seed and increment, okay, to the same. So it will gonna change. Okay. So as I said, usually we'll prefer 1,1. So it will reset to 1,1. Okay. Yeah. The seed value will be reset to the original value. Comma. So as there is structural changes, as there is structural changes, as there is structural changes, as there is some structural changes, Microsoft decided to keep this under DDL command. As there are some structural changes, Microsoft decided to keep this under DDL commands. As there are some structural changes, Microsoft decided to keep this under, keep this means truncate, okay? Keep truncate under, these are truncate, anything you can write. Under DDL commands. This is the first point you need to explain, okay? And then second point will be from the top, I mean from bottom to top you can explain about the data pages, all the stuff, okay? See, in some interviews, if you tell this point, now you have to explain in a confident way and the complete information, whatever I said, and nobody will go for the next point actually, because this is the point they were expecting from you, okay? Yeah. Finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay. Any questions?
Sir,
yes.
If you make use of this one begin trans and commit along with the delete, it won't like it fails, right? Sir?
Sorry.
If you make use of begin trans along with the commit in a delete command, this property won't apply, I think.
No. Once
No.
after we commit.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because that is already committed. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the second class, I mean, few of the people has asked one more question. Actually, I told them that I can show you in case of identity property. So what is that question is? See, when you delete something from a table, that too I'm using a where class, okay? And that too I'm going to delete employee ID in 1,2. First two rows I'm going to delete. Yes. So now I'm going to show you the table as well. See 3, right? Now I'm going to insert some rows, guys. Tell me what is the next row, where exactly it will go and place.
1, 2. The
1,
4
2, 3, 3.
1, 2,
3 and 3.
1, 2, 4.
So
Oh, I think it starts from
4,
the
5,
3. 4, 5, 6.
6. 4,
You
5, 3,
deleted
6.
6.
Yes, sir. 4, 5, 3, 6.
4,
No,
5,
it will 4, 5,
4,
6 it's
5,
going to take.
3,
3,
6. Okay, let me just execute
1, 2,
and
3,
I'm
4,
going
5,
to
6. 3, 4, 5, 6 it's going to show.
4, 5, 3, 6.
4, 5, 3.
4, 5, 3, 6.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
so as I mentioned earlier, when you
Mhm.
delete something from your table, right? As I said, only data will get removed, but the memory allocation remains same. Correct? So
Yes.
even in your laptop also, when you delete something, right, and when you go and restore, it will go and sits in the same place. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Because the memory allocation remains same. So that's why what SQL Server will do is wherever you deleted first, okay, wherever you deleted first it will fill those places, even though there are 100 rows you deleted. First it will fill those 100 rows, then only it will go to the next row, guys. Okay, and as it is a delete statement, it knows it what is the last deleted row. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I mean the deleted rows are 1, 2, but what is the current seed value in the table?
3.
3.
Current seed value is 3. Correct? From
Yes, sir.
that row onwards, it will. I mean that seed value onwards, it will keep on increment, guys. Okay.
So it will not segregate, like 3 will not come to the first row and
No, it won't segregate. Again, this question also asked that day only. So if this is the case, the data will be not in a sorted format, right?
Yes.
So
But
yeah,
we
what
use the
exactly we
primary
need
key.
to do? Exactly.
So we
If you
need to
go
go
and
for
do the
unique
primary
key.
key, what will happen?
Yes, sir.
So it will fill the same places, guys. Okay, there is no change in it. Okay, wherever the data has been deleted, right? It will fill those empty places only.
It
Okay,
will not waste
but
the space.
yes, but when you have a primary key, what will happen? The
It will
data will
sort.
gonna sort. That's it.
Out.
Okay. Clear.
Okay, that's the answer for that question, guys.
Yeah.
So whenever you delete something, first it will fill those rows. Okay, and if at all if you need that in a sorted format, you need to mention the primary key over there.
If it
Okay.
was truncate, it would have been 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Without the.
No, see, when you truncate, what will happen? The entire rows will get deleted. No.
Yes.
Then it will reset to the original seed value, right?
Okay.
So it will start from
3, 1, 2.
No, in truncate, can't we delete 1 or 2 rows?
No,
We can't use where class there.
that's what I said. No, we cannot use the where clause.
Okay.
So when you truncate, what will happen? It will
Entire
reset
data
to
of.
Entire data will get
entire data will get removed. There is no logs for us, correct?
Yes,
We can't
sir.
retrieve it back.
Yes. So what is the the seed and increment value?
1,
As I said,
One.
it will again reset to 1, 1 only. Correct?
Yes.
So what is the next inserted rows?
1, 2, 3.
3.
Exactly. It is 1, 2, 3 only. Okay, it's not 3 to 1. Okay,
Okay, sir.
1, 2, 3. So in truncate case, we cannot truncate a particular single row, guys. It's not possible actually. Okay.
Yes.
And this is very, 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 very important question. Between truncate and delete, they they will simply give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A single column they will give you. ID 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and they will say like, okay, so this is an identity table. I'm going to delete this 4, 5, 6. So what will happen if I go on reinserts? Okay, so what will happen? 8, 9, 10 will come here. 11th row will come over here. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the next question will be what will happen in case of truncate if I go and truncate something. So what will happen if I truncate?
Entire data will go and it will start from the first value.
Again, it will start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct?
Yes.
Very, very, very important question, guys. Okay. When they ask this question, what you need to tell is, so in case of delete, the data will gonna remove, but the memory allocation remains same. So when you reinsert the data, first it will fill those empty wherever memory allocation remains same. First it will fill those rows, and then only it will go to the next rows. That's how it will be. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we need the sorted data, then simply we need to go and keep the primary key. And this point also you need to explain to them, because nobody will ask everything. So you need to go and add the points whichever it is belongs to that particular question. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you please write down this? So what you need to do, just in the table, you can write whatever I have given in the Excel. 1 4 1 2 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay. And in the next row, deleted 5 to 8 rows. Okay. Reinserted. When you reinserted, what could be the values? 1 2 3. No, here deleted means what is the values will be there? 1 2 3 4 5. Sorry, 5 also will get deleted. No? So
11,
yes.
12.
So these places will empty only, correct?
Yes, sir.
The memory allocation remains same, right? So now what will happen here? 10, 11,
13.
12, 13, 9, 14, correct?
Yes.
And it will keep on go. In case of truncate, let's take truncated data. When you truncate, I mean, everything will be gone, correct? So again, after truncate, reinsert. What will happen?
It will be same.
Same we're gonna insert again, correct? How many inserts you do, those many rows it will keep on insert, right? 9, 10, like this. Understand?
Yes.
Could you please write down? And this is specifically in case of identity, guys, not in the normal table. Okay, specifically they'll ask in the identity table. Write down this, please. Yeah, if there is a primary key, it will search the data, Monica. Yes. After deleting, if you want to row number 1 and 2 should be, we should insert manually. After deleting, if you want row number as 1 and 2 should be insert manually. Deepak, answer is primary key only. Okay. After deleting, if you want row number 1 and 2. Okay. So you mean to say once we delete 1 and 2, if we need again 1 and 2 only, correct? Yes, we need to insert manually, correct. I'll show you that how to insert manually. Okay. So write down this one, please.
Mute yourself, everyone.
Let me know once you finish. See, in the case of identity also, this begin tran will work as it is. Okay. There is no changes in it.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if you make use of begin tran along with truncate.
Okay, if you make use of truncate.
Begin tran.
Okay.
But we won't use any rollback or commit.
No, we can use it.
No, sir. No, sir. Like I'm asking that. Like we started begin tran along with the truncate.
Okay.
And before using the commit or rollback, we like use this identity thing.
Okay.
Like how it will insert, sir? Which position?
Okay, you mean to say you have used the begin tran and then you have inserted the data.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah.
So then you are truncated the data, sorry. So then after you are trying to insert without commit or rollback, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I want you people to do it and let me know what will happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, we'll
try this and let me know.
Okay.
No, sir. Not.
Can you repeat the question once again?
Question is simple. So in identity table, right? You write a begin tran along with the truncate. Okay. You truncate the data first. Then reinsert the data into the table using the identity.
Okay.
Yeah. Then what could be the values is question.
Until transaction completed, we can't insert the data.
Yeah, you try that and let me know what exactly will happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
What error it will throw, just let me. Yeah. Done? Finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
This is very, very important. Please remember, very important question. Yes. Okay, fine. So there is something called reseed here, reseed concept. Okay. So when exactly this will come into the picture means, for an example, we don't have truncate, permission. We don't have any permission to truncate the table. Usually in the real time, right? So they will restrict the operation for us actually. Okay, for truncate and delete and all. Okay, so let's take in the this case, no permission for truncate. Okay, and permission is only for delete. Okay. So now what I will do is I will insert the same rows again and again, and I do have this data in the table. See, the identity will be differ, but the same data I have inserted, duplicated employee names, employee ID, and so on. Yeah. So now when we delete, what it will do? Delete from table name. So what is the last seed value here? Last identity value? 18. Okay, let me write it here.
18.
Seed value is 18. And I'm going to delete the data from the table because we don't have truncate permission, let's say. Okay, so it's inserted only 16 because 1 and 2 we deleted already, right? So that's why only 16 rows. Now when we reinsert, what will happen?
From 19
From 19 it will give us, correct?
Yes.
But I don't want 19. I want to start again from 1 only.
Instead of delete, you can go with truncate.
I said there is no permission for truncate.
So then we have to reseed.
Yeah. So in that case, reseed concept will come into the picture. Okay. Understand?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So the syntax for reseed will be dbcc. I'll explain to you what is meant by dbcc and all. Check ident reseed table name, comma reseed, comma value. This is the syntax. First, let me explain to you. I mean, how it will gonna reseed. So table name would be what? My employee name, correct? And reseed is a keyword, guys. Just keep as it is. Don't change. And value. Okay. So what could be the value you want to make it? So what would be the value? I said one, right? No,
Yes, sir.
see, the thing is this increment will be always one.
Fix it.
This we cannot change. Okay. Only the thing is this can be changed. Okay. Yeah. So what is the next value I'm asking?
1.
1. You can keep as it is 1. Okay. You can keep as it is 1 and go and execute this. Can you see? It is saying that DBCC execution completed. Okay. And in the above, it is saying that checking identity information, the current seed value is 18. 18 only, right? Current seed value.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the previous current seed value is 18, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
it's successful, guys. It's not any errors, actually. It is successful. And let me go and insert some data and see what will happen. Usually, it should go to 19, 20, 21. But let's see what will happen. Because we reseeded, na? Can you see it starts from
2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. But what I was expecting here?
1.
1. We are expecting 1, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So the thing is, whenever you are reseeding, na, you have to keep it in mind that
0.
the increment value also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Based upon the increment value, you need to reseed. Understand?
Okay, sir.
So which means that
we need to give 0, sir.
exactly.
0.
So the increment value is 1, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
I want the next value should be what?
0.
1. So which means if you reseed to 0, 0 plus 1 become 1, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you need to reseed to 0. So we go on reinserts now. 0. I mean, it will not start with 0, guys. Now in this DBCC case, right? It will include that number actually. I mean, the increment value for the first row itself. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 2, sorry, 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3, like that. Okay.
Yes.
Only in case of while creating the table for the first inserting row, right? In that case, it will take the seed value. For the next row, it will add the increment. Okay. But while reseeding, right? While reseeding, for the first row itself, it will include the increment value.
Sir, can
While
you repeat
reseeding,
sir?
sorry?
Can you repeat, sir?
Yes, while
Internet
reseeding,
connection was disconnected.
see, in that case, please go through with the recording. Anyway, I'll explain now, but going forward, please go through with the recording. While reseeding, it will include what?
Increment value.
Increment value.
Include, yes, increment value. Include increment. Not while reseeding, maybe while reseeding, make sure that the next value will include the increment value also. Okay, so based upon that, we need to increment. Okay, so let me repeat it once again. For an example, I have deleted the data. Okay, I want to start from 100 onwards. Okay, the next value should be 100. Now in that case, you should not directly keep 100 here. So it should be based upon your increment value. So my increment value currently it is 1. So you have to reset to 99 here. So 99 plus 1 becomes 100, right? So now I have reset it to 99. And if you go on reinserts here, so the next value becomes 100, 101, 102, like that.
1, 2, 3.
See? Okay. For an example, if my seed value is, increment value is 10, guys. In that case?
90.
Yes. In that case, it should be 90.
90.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
When you are reseeding, make sure, the increment value will always include to your reseed value. Based upon that only, you need to provide the reseed value. Okay. So if there is no, yes.
Like we have in the table 1 to 10. And next should be 21.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
like I want 1 to 10 data also should be present, and
Yeah, it
next
will be
to-
present actually.
Okay.
So let me show you.
Because you said that you have deleted and you showed us.
Yes. So usually, nobody will prefer that. Okay. Generally. So if you see, we have 100, 101, 102. Okay. Let's say I want to start from 1000.
Yes.
Okay. So in that case, what you need to do?
999.
So the dbcc command you need to write, and you have to put 999 and execute it, and you try to go and insert. So existing data will also be there, and the next data will gonna be like this. Okay. So even again, let's say I reset it to 199. Let's see what will happen. I reset it to 99. And I insert it. Let's see what will happen. So someone has asked that, so can the identity will allow duplicates? Is it allowing?
Yes, sir.
It's allowing, right? So in this case, what exactly we need to do? Basically, this is
primary key.
basically we should not keep like this now.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense, right? So your identity will allow. That's first, your identity column will allow duplicates, but usually it should not be the case. We need to go and keep the primary key. So when you reseed like this, it will throw an error. Okay. Understand?
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. See, but don't prefer this reseed for these cases. Nobody will insert in between information using the reseed. Reseed will always help us when you don't have any permission for truncate, permission for only delete, and if you want to reset to the original position, we'll go for the reseed option.
Even permissions in the sense like
permission means truncate. They will even if you try to do a truncate, right? They will say like you do not have a permission from that.
In the sense, it will be controlled from the admin side.
Yes, it will be controlled from the administrative side.
Okay, got it.
Any other questions? Okay, now what is meant by this DBCC? DBCC means database console commands. Okay, console command. So what exactly it means that in database also, guys, see, however we have something called IP. To know the IP addresses, what we used to do, we'll go to command prompt, and we'll type IP config, right? Correct?
Right.
Something like this. So this is one of the command, right? In the same case in SQL Server also, there are some console commands which will be using to do so many operations. Okay, but these DBCC commands there are so many DBCC commands which are all using for that administrative side. Okay, not for us. Okay, so for us it will be only this will help us actually. I mean for reseeding DBCC. So if you want, I can just show you what are the types of DBCC commands. There are so many actually. Can you see? DBCC check alloc. Okay, check catalog, DBCC check constraint, DBCC check DB. So these many DBCC commands are there. So all this will help for the DBA guy, most probably the administrator. For developers, this is only one thing is enough actually. But maybe in an interview point of view, some people may ask like, can you list out some of the DBCC commands? Okay. So in such a case, you can list out a few of the commands which are there in the screen. Okay. So like check catalog, check, DBCC check constraint. Okay. Check DB, like that. You can list out a few of the DBCC commands. 4 or 5 is more than enough actually. Okay. So if you want, I can just put it over there. So you can just write down. So whichever is easy, you can just list out that. Okay. Even I didn't even use this check DB. Let me see what exactly it will do. Okay, it's giving so much of information. which I don't want to see. Okay, just write down these names. Okay, so if at all they'll ask what are the comments you heard about this DBCC means, you can just list out this. Okay, more than enough. Yeah. So now what you need to do, how to reseed an identity value. Make a side heading and first write down the syntax. Then this is the example. Okay. First you write down till here. Okay, then I'll tell you what needs to be.
Scroll up, sir.
Okay. Finished?
No, not yet.
Okay. In simple terms, guys, reseed will be help us to start from wherever we want. Okay.
Yeah.
Avina?
Yeah.
Yeah, in green you have written while reseeding, make sure that the next value will include the increment value also.
Yes.
I understood everything, but I didn't exactly cannot represent this statement to that.
So maybe if you want, you can keep this point while inserting the data.
Like it will include the increment value also means what?
Yeah. So the thing is, see, there is a 0 right here.
Yes.
So now the seed value becomes 0.
Yes.
So when you insert generally, so let me go here. See, when you insert here, right, in this case, so
Okay.
will it consider the increment value for the first row?
No.
No, right? Yeah. So for the second row?
Yes, 1.
It will include, correct?
Yes.
So, but in this case, when you reseed, right, for the first row itself, it will include that increment. That's what I conveyed.
That is the meaning that we should, if we are inserting the first statement and we want to start from the one, then we have to insert 0.
Exactly. While inserting, the value will include the increment also. So based on that, select the receipt value. Okay. While inserting the new value, comma, it will include the increment value also. So based upon that, select the receipt value. Then okay, so now what I want you to do is, it's done, no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you can just write down here like ID, name. Okay, identity. Maybe you can put test T1, and which is a identity table. Now let me put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. Now, if I delete something, delete 3, 4. So now what will happen? 1A will be there. Then 2B will be there. Correct? Yes or no? Then 5 EB will be there. Then 6F will be there. Okay. So then if I reseed, okay, maybe we'll delete everything, not a specific rows. We'll delete everything. Delete all the rows. So nothing will be there. And if we want to start again from 1 to reseed, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
To reseed. 1 second, let me match. We need to reset. Okay. Okay. So anyway, nothing will be there. And here I also want to keep reseed value will always depends on what?
Increment value.
Last increment value.
The reseed value, no, it's not a last increment, last inserted value. It's always depends on the increment value only. Do remember it. Okay. Okay. Lasting. So now reseed value is what?
0.
Value is 0. Okay. So the next value will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. I'll give you 2 examples, okay, so that you guys will understand. Yeah, 6. So now if receipt value is 90, then
91,
91.
92,
91
92.
like this. Okay. Next, here also I'll give you one more case. If increment value is 10 and receipt value is 100, then
110.
110, 120, 130.
110,
110,
120.
20,
100.
130.
140.
keep on, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I want you to write all these cases so that you will have a better idea, right?
Yes.
Anyone have a question?
No, we are good.
Sorry?
No, we are good.
Yeah, okay. See, if anyone feeling shy to ask, okay, at least you can ping me separately. I want everyone to understand this concept. It's very, very important. Okay, write down all these possible cases.
We know, like one question I have, I forget.
Yes, please.
Previous regarding identity, you have mentioned the value should be at last till n-1, right?
Yes.
That n can be any number, -1 stands for it has to come down, right? Like what exactly it is.
So 1 means for a table only one identity, right? That's why that one number is fixed. Okay, n means n number of columns.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe I should have give more detailed about that n-1. Maybe I forgot. Okay, I'll give it to you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Write down. Let me know once you.
You want to start.
Finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everyone?
No, sir. One minute. No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Finished?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that is all about reseed. Okay. And mainly, in real time, when exactly I have used this reseed cases, when we have lot of rows in my table, right? Some millions of rows. And whenever I used to delete something, I want to reset again to 1 instead of truncate. Maybe if I use the delete, right? If I want to reset again to the original value, I used to go for this reset option. Okay, that's the main case. I used to go for this reset. Okay, and nobody will prefer these cases. Whatever I have shown you here, in between, if you want to insert some other rows and all, so we'll not use these cases actually. Okay, so I just gave you a example, means what are the possible cases we do have. Okay. Yeah. Just a second. Okay, so the next case is write down how to insert external value or manual value in an identity column. Write down. Very important is also how to insert an external value or manual value in an identity column. Side heading. Okay, so now if I want to insert a manual value, there is a one particular syntax for this, okay, which is called as identity insert. Okay, so using this syntax, we are going to insert a manual value into the table. Don't write, just see the screen. Yeah, identity underscore insert. This is the syntax, guys. This is the property what I said, identity underscore insert. The exact syntax is identity underscore table name, sorry, set identity. Set is a keyword, identity underscore insert also a keyword, table name is your table name, and on, okay, or off. So if you want to on, switch it on, we can switch it on, and if you want to switch off, so we can switch it off. Okay, and both the commands means at a time we can use either on or either off. Okay, so let me do identity underscore insert. Your table name is, let's say, employee, and off, or sorry, on. So when you do when you insert this identity insert on, right, what exactly will happen means, whatever identity property you have, this automatic generation number, okay, so that will go off actually. I mean, when you turn on this identity insert option, right? So this identity property will turn off, yes, and we can manually insert a value into this table. That's what this identity insert on means. In simple terms, when you switch it on, we can manually enter a value into identity column. So without this enabling, right, you cannot insert a manual value, guys. Okay, and this is very, very important. And one more thing, when you enable this one, it's mandatory to mention all the column names while inserting. While maybe I can show you, while inserting itself. Insert into, my table name is employee values. Let's say already some data is there in the table now. Let's say, okay, there are so much of data in this. Let it be. Okay, 102 is the last insert. That's fine. I'm going to insert, let's say 105, comma, Rajesh and Chennai. And some 1 lakh or 1,90,000. So see, I'm trying to insert a manual value into the identity column now using the insert statement. Let's see what will happen if I go and execute it. Yeah, can you see? An explicit value for identity column in the table can only specified when the column list is used when the identity insert on. Meaning, so we enable the identity insert, right? Correct? I executed this syntax. So which means identity insert is enabled. So whenever it is enabled, right? So make sure you need to keep that column list while inserting the data. Otherwise, it won't allow us to insert this. So definitely you need to mention all the column name, employee ID, employee name, employee salary, employee address, comma, employee salary. It's mandatory, guys, in the case of identity insert. Yeah, these sometimes in the written tests and all they used to ask. Okay, so whenever you enable, so how do you insert the data? So must and should we need to mention the column names, and then only the insert will allow. Now you see, okay, it is saying that can ask insert a value for identity in a table when there's identity. Okay, I think it is switched off. So let's enable this. Okay, it's on. Okay, now see, whenever I switching on, right? So the data has been inserted. And I want to show you one more thing. Whenever it is on, right, your earlier syntax won't work. I mean, so let me just show you. Yeah, this is the first syntax, right? Whenever identity we added identity of 1,1. So we did not enter a value because it's an automatic generation number. So when it is on, right, so you have to must and should enter a value. Okay, and if you try to execute this syntax now, it is saying that explicit value must be specified for identity column in the table either when the identity insert is set on, when the replication user insert not identity. Okay, so meaning of this error is whenever it is on, right, so must and should you need to enter a value. Okay, if you execute this syntax, right, SQL Server won't accept because there is no number right here, no external value are provided. Okay, so let's see in the table what is the exact value. Anyway, it is 105 only because it's a manual value which we entered. Can you see 105? Correct. Now let's say I want to turn off it. When you turn off the identity insert, right, the behavior is again it will come back to the same, which means you need to follow n-1 rule to insert the value space. Okay, you need to use the n-1 values. Why? Because when you turn off this identity insert, right, it will back to the original functionality. I mean the identity property whatever we have, right, this identity 1,1. So basically it will automatically insert the values When we turn off it, it will automatically insert the identity values. Okay, so which means it will follow the n-1 rule. Yeah, so let's see. And in this case, do I need to mention the column list? It's not required, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not mandatory, and no need to enter the this ID also, correct?
Correct.
Let's see if I am entering 2 rows. Yes.
Duplicates.
That's fine, no issues. And let's see what is the values. So from where exactly it has been started?
From previous that
So he entered 105, correct? We entered 105. So now from this value onwards, it will start. So it will consider this is the current seed value. From then and there onwards, it will restart actually. Understand?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it will. So very, very simple concept is. So identity property will automatically generate a number usually. Yes. If I want to enter a manual value, we have a separate syntax. We need to enable the identity insert on. Whenever we enable the identity insert on, it is mandatory mention the column list along with the manual entry for ID column. Yes. And once you enter this value, now the SQL Server will consider this is the current seed value, and from then and there onwards, it will keep on increment after turning off the identity insert on. Yeah. When it is off, automatically it will take the identity insert values. In such a case, you have to follow the n-1 rule. n-1 means n means number of columns in the tables. 1 means anyway, as I said, for a table only one identity column. So that's why I fixed it as a 1. Okay. If there are 100 columns in a table, 100 minus 1, 99 values you need to insert. If there are 90 columns in a table, 90 minus 1, 89 values you need to insert it into the table. That's how it will be.
Now we are clear.
Any questions, anyone? Okay, can we keep null while enabling the identity insert on? Okay, so no, Monica. Why? Because as I said, when you keep an identity, right? See, it's making it as a not null default. It won't allow null value. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just want to show you one more thing. Let me enable once again. Let me enable once again. And here I'll just put, 2000. And I'll turn off it. And let me reinsert again. And if I go and execute the select query, let's see what will happen.
2000,
2001, and 2002. Okay. Okay. Let me see one more thing I want to show. Let's say 10. I'm just keeping. There is a one different case will come. I just want to show.
I think from 2000 it will continue.
Let's see what it is saying.
Off.
Yeah, I need to turn off. Even when you do mistake, no, the SQL Server will tell you when you turn off which syntax you need to insert the data. When you turn on, what syntax you need to use.
11, 12.
Okay.
Can you see this?
Yeah,
so this is a different case. Okay.
So
So
it goes
can you see this?
incrementally.
We have a 2000 guys and 2001, 2002, and in between manually I entered a value. So usually what will happen? So from the last inserted value, it has to insert, correct?
Correct.
But what SQL Server will do is whichever is the maximum value. Okay. Yeah. So from the from the last inserted value and previous inserted value, it will check whichever is maximum, right? That it will consider as a current seed values. From then and there onwards, it will go on insert.
So is it going to check only last two values or the
yes, only last two values? Because if you see in this case, right, So when I insert 105, it's not started from 1003, correct?
Yeah.
Because it will check only the previous inserted values.
Yeah.
Not the entire column.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the different scenario actually. Are you getting it?
Yeah, we are getting.
Let me explain to you. See, when you enter a manual value, means when you keep on entering something, and when you enter a manual value, and that is very small value compared to the previous. In such a case, the SQL Server will consider the maximum value always. Okay, that's how it will be. See, these cases won't come in the real time, guys, but I am giving you the possible cases actually. Again, you should not come and ask, sir, why this is happening. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? Sir, for a table 1024 columns will allow, that means we can consider here n-1. Yes, exactly. So for a table we have 1024 columns, right? So in such a case, if one identity column will be there in the table, right? That's the only possibility case. So 1023 values you need to insert. Okay.
Yeah.
The last scenario I explained.
Sorry,
less number.
This one, huh?
Yes, sir. Even the same thing will happen for when you give the highest number, maybe in lakhs.
Sorry. No, it will not consider.
Okay.
No, I'm not getting what he said.
No, sorry. I'll take back.
Explain, right? So, for the previous value will be 2000. If you manually enter the 10, it will take again if we insert, it will continue the same number previous value.
Yes, when you are trying to enter after switching off, right? So what it will do, it will compare which is the maximum value.
Okay.
So from the maximum value onwards, it will continue.
So same thing, if you give for example, previous value will be 2000. And if you want to enter the manual thing, it will be in more than 50,000.
No, it's your wish actually.
Okay, so
generally, if you give more value, it will consider from that onwards, from that maximum value. If you give less, then it will go and check the previous value.
Okay.
Yeah. See, anyway, these scenarios won't come, guys. Okay, in your real time. Yeah.
Okay.
But these are all the possible cases which is there in the identity. If you practice it, you will get to know. Understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions? If no, please write down this so that we can wind up the class. And tomorrow there are few more things on this identity. I'll explain that. Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, without using identity insert employee on off, we cannot insert values in.
No. So if you see, I'll turn off it actually. So I'll turn off means it's the normal identity table, correct?
Okay, sir.
So in such a case, if I go and enter a manual value, see, it will throw an error. Cannot insert a explicit value. Explicit means manual value. Okay.
Manual value.
For identity column in the table, when the identity is off.
After creating table, after inserting, we cannot do like this, sir.
Sorry.
After creating table, we can insert now, sir, data.
No, after creating, if you have a identity property, no.
Yes.
When you enter a manual value, it won't allow. That's what it is stating here.
Before creating, we can allow. After creating, we cannot allow without this employee on off.
Creating of what? Table.
Yes, sir.
See, if you have an identity, these cases will be allowed. See, when we have an identity in a table, right?
Okay.
Okay. Definitely, you should not pass a value for this.
Okay.
Okay, because it's a automatic generation number.
Okay, sir.
If you want to enter a manual value, so definitely you need to switch on this, and then only you need to enter a manual value.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, sir.
We know, like in practical scenarios, they use more like identity or like manual entry only.
See, manual entry will come in one situation. I'll show you that. Okay. Maybe tomorrow I'll show you. Okay. When exactly this manual entry will come in the real time. Okay. Yeah. Write down this, please. How to insert the external or explicit, anything is fine. Okay. Or external. Write down the side heading, and then identity insert property, then this is the syntax. When we can manually enter a value into identity column, and here make a note and write down, when we enable identity insert on, then we have to keep the columns while inserting the data. When we enable identity insert on, then we have to keep the columns while inserting the data. It's mandatory. In brackets you can write it's mandatory. Okay, write down this insert statement. Then once you turn off, it will automatically insert data. Note will be, we can use n minus 1. Okay. Okay, right now. So you need to follow this one when you turn off. Okay, write down both the cases, and then we can wind up the class. Tomorrow you can explain. So today's assignment is, I want to everyone to practice this identity property and upload these queries, everything.
So here insert machine should we can give that column names as well.
Sure.
Here insert.
When you enable the identity insert on, we should must and should we need to provide the column list. Here column names I'll write. Okay.
Okay.
Column names or column list, anything is fine. Without that, it won't execute. It will throw an error. Okay.
Okay.
Done?
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Okay, so if it's done, you can practice this and upload this. Okay, practical session. And whenever you are uploading, right, please mention like what you are I mean, the file name should be identity property practical session. So if you upload a SQL query 1617, I won't understand. Okay.
Okay.
I have a question like regarding to Drive, Google Drive. So if you are working on primary key and foreign keys means, can we make a folder and dump all the
Yeah,
data?
that will be good actually. If you create as subfolders like based upon the topic, right? That will be good for me to verify.
Yesterday I thought of creating, but again it will
You can create it. So instead, see, for you people also it will be helpful, right? So if you want to refer something, so instead of searching, if you have a folders, right, it is very easy to refer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think nowadays nobody is deleting now.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
And the question I was about to ask at the end. Is this the right time?
Yes, please.
See, like when I was writing a syntaxes, so if the integer is like less than 255 means I opted tiny int. But
okay.
For me the comments has written as instead of tiny int you can go for int, etc. So can you correct me if what exactly I'm wrong?
So you are using tiny int, it is below to 250 something, 252 something, right?
Correct.
So it is showing an error?
Oh, no, it's not throwing. Like you are given a feedback for our assignments, right? So I just want to know what exactly.
Okay. See, the thing is, it's a for ID, no? So you have given tiny int, right?
Correct, tiny int.
Yeah. So the thing is, see, most probably that tiny int will be used for less than 3 digits. That too below that 252 something. But
correct.
Usually IDs will gonna increase, no?
Okay.
We should always think in such a way. So in future case, definitely the user IDs will gonna increase. Such a case, right? So if you give tiny int again, we need to go and change the structure, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you can think in another way. I mean, another way, like any column which is less than 252, and it won't increase in the future. In such a case, we can go ahead with this tiny int. Maybe let me just think what is those cases.
Quantity, like something.
Quantity also it can increase, right? More than, yeah, we can go for age, no?
Age.
Yeah, nobody will live more than 100 years, na?
Correct.
Yeah, so we can go for that if you want. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So we should always think for future cases actually.
Okay.
That's why I gave that feedback, right? Okay. Okay then. Bye.
Bye all.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank